Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of Girls Islamic Organization Chennai, I would like to welcome one of the exemplary personalities, Mrs. Ayesha Arif Zinna, who is joining us today to share her experiences and study on mental health. She is a very brilliant role model with lots of achievements stuck to her name. She is prominently noted for being the assistant professor in the Department of Applied Psychology and Behavioral Research at Justice Basheer Sayeed College for Women, formerly Sayeed. She is an alumna of Women's Christian College and she has published 26 paper publications and also presented 10 paper presentations, which includes topics like mental health, millennials and many more. She has many honors and awards attached to her names. She has participated as a chairperson for paper presentation conferences and resource person for guest lectures at various institutions. It gives a great honor to welcome you, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. Ma'am, could you please enlighten us a little bit about you and your study?
My name is Ayesha Arif Zinna. I graduated from WCC, that's Women's Christian College. I did both my undergrad and my master's there. And I specialized in, and thereafter I went ahead to go and do my special education at Vidyasagar. And now I'm teaching at Justice Basheer Sayeed College for Women. And I really enjoy teaching because I really like my subject, because it's a subject that not only helps me, but it's also a subject that I feel that even helps others. So that's about me.
So ma'am, how and when were you inspired to move forward in this field of psychology?
Psychology, I think I decided to, study psychology when I was in grade 11. I was always interested in human behavior. I was always interested primarily in understanding why people behave the way they do. And I was also pretty interested in mental illness, which is why I teach a paper called Abnormal Psychology.
There's a stigma against mental health associated in society. How do you think we can correct
Okay, the stigma associated with mental illnesses, a lot of people believe that the mentally ill are, that they're weak. They believe that they're mad. Sometimes they believe that it's not mental illness, it's like a possession by, say, either an evil spirit or a jinn or whatever. These are common misconceptions about mental illness, and mental illness is very, very real. And if you ask me, mental illness has to be given more importance than physical illness, because when we're physically ill, it's very easy for us to reach out and to talk about it and to seek help. When in reality, our mental health is more important than our physical health, because unless one is mentally healthy, only then will one be physically healthy. Because if you're not mentally healthy, it's even going to affect you physically. So I think it's very, very important that, when you're mentally, you're not in a great place, that you need to seek help. You need to seek help by probably, talking about it and telling someone, what, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed, because I feel like crying, and to give vent to your emotions, because it's absolutely fine to give vent to your emotions, to seek help. To seek help in different ways, to seek help in prayer, to seek help by talking to somebody, to seek help by probably exercising. So it's very, very important, because unless one is mentally healthy, one is not going to be physically healthy. Because if you're not mentally healthy, it is going to affect your health. And a lot of medical professionals also have talked about the role of stress, which basically has to do with you're not able to manage your mental health. So it's very, very important.
So ma'am, what do you wish that women knew about mental health?
What I feel that women need to know about mental health is, first and foremost, is to realize that it's absolutely okay, to not feel great at all times. And it's also, I think, very, very important for us as women to realize that we cannot be perfect. Perfectionism lies only with the Almighty. Yes. And very often as women, we are put into so many roles. It's more difficult for women, more so for working women, because, there's a role we play at work, there's a role you play at home, there's a role that you play as a mother, there's a role that you play as a wife, there's a role that you play as a daughter-in-law. So it becomes really tough. And one cannot be perfect in all those roles. And I think one has to first and foremost accept that I cannot be perfect in all these roles. I think that acceptance and conveying to people that, I can't do this, can you please help? I think it's very, very important as women that we seek help, because we have to realize that people are really good, people are nice. If you ask for help, people will give you help, and that help is nothing but basically like a social support system. We need to develop that support system. We need to connect, and there are different ways of managing with stress, and I think for me personally, one of the best ways has been reaching out, being in touch with the Quran. Like for me, when I'm stressed, I reach out to the Quran. I listen to a lot of bayans like, Yasir Khadi and Umar Sulaiman. They're like my favorites. They're like my go-to people. I talk about it when I'm upset. I share with somebody, I have a friend who's a therapist, so sometimes if I need to cry and talk about it, I will do it. Because I think, and I especially feel nowadays, the stresses are so much more, and the pressures also to be, to perform and to be at that level are so much more, that we do have mental health issues, and it's very, very important to reach out for help and to realize that we cannot be perfect, and it's important to accept yourself as you are. Having said that, I'm not saying that one should be complacent and just sit back and chill. No, you try, you maximize your potential, but realize, these are my constraints and this is how much I can do. And you convey to others, but do it in such a way that you don't offend or upset others. So that's my take.
Ma'am, what is your advice to women with regards to mental health? And what do you think, when they are dealing with poor mental health, what is your advice?
Okay, my advice to women first and foremost is, first and foremost, acknowledge that you're going through something. That's the most important thing. Sometimes we don't acknowledge it. We're in a state of denial. Okay, because we think that if we acknowledge it or we talk about it, we are not strong enough, we are weak, it's a stigma, what will people think, people will judge me. So the first and foremost thing is to talk about it, to seek social support, and to use different methods of coping, like use religion, exercise is very important, and there are various ways of, dealing with your mental health and practicing a lot of exercises like gratitude. Like the Quran talks about gratitude all the time. And in the field of psychology, we talk about, being grateful for what you have. Like there's an exercise that a lot of therapists will ask people to do, like before you sleep in the night, write down 3 nice things that happened to you. And when we write that down, we were focusing on the positives in our life. Because very often when you're going through a stressful time, you're just focusing on the negatives. So these little things, being grateful, because gratitude is a big thing, and realizing also that this is a temporary situation, it will pass. This is my advice. Use gratitude, use meditation, seek help.
So ma'am, like as you mentioned an activity where you write 3 things, positive things that happen to you. Do you have any such kind of activities that can help you take, focus away from the negativity around you?
Yes, there's one. Everyone is talking about mindfulness. I think mindfulness is one of the most important things. That's just being in the, like there's a saying, right? No amount of worry can change the future. No amount of regret can change the past. Okay? I think we have to be in the present. Just focus on the present, because the truth is what is written for you in your qadar is going to happen. Worrying about it is not going to help, right? So it's important to be mindful, which means be in the present and not regret about the past, because the past is over. Even though we've made mistakes, there's nothing we can really do to change the past. And we do tend to worry about the future, but is that helping? No, it isn't. It's not making you feel better, it's making you feel worse. Whereas if you are mindful and if you are in the moment, and you are just focusing on things like your breath and just focusing on, like there are different forms of meditation, mindfulness meditation. I would ask people to go in for mindfulness meditation. It really works. And there are various other techniques like maintaining a gratitude journal, using various cognitive behavior techniques, where you are realizing that it's not a situation that causes the stress, but it's the way you perceive and the way you interpret the situation. What may be stressful for me may not be stressful for you. So I have that choice to change my perception, to realize that the choice lies within us.
Finally, ma'am, being a very exemplary person in this field.
Okay, I'm very flattered that you think that I'm exemplary, but I don't think I'm exemplary.
Mashallah, you have so many papers that you have published, so many papers that you have presented. and so many awards attached to your name, so many tags that you can attach to your name in honor. So what is some advice that you would like to give for the young girls who are studying?
The advice I would like to give is I always tell this to my girls when we have our little classes, that the first word that was revealed in the Quran was Ikra, which is read. So I really think we should all internalize this and really maximize. I mean, we are very blessed to be born as Muslims, yes, and we have to follow it. And the first word that was revealed was read. So girls, please maximize your knowledge. You can really move ahead. Believe in yourself. Acquire knowledge. Get educated, because if you get educated, not only are you educating yourself, you're also educating your family. So I think it's very, very important that one educates oneself, one maximizes their knowledge, and one progresses in the field of education. Because I think, to me, education is really important, and once you're educated, to be able to share that education with others, that's very important.
Jazakallah khair, ma'am. As you said, education is very important, and educating ourselves about this and various other topics is very important. Inshallah, it will help us in various, if not today, maybe it will help us in different parts of our life, inshallah. So I hope that the girls get inspired to follow in your footsteps and make you proud of them, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for taking out time in despite your busy schedule.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah.